before we jump into the next stuff, I got a little question right here, and I'm curious
Oh,
yours because you
please.
have more experience. The most recent question right there from Christina: favorite movie theater in
Ooh,
NYC?
ooh. Okay, so I mean, there's a couple different ways to answer this, right? Because
For
like
sure.
the AMC Lincoln Center or Lincoln Square one is like a great big movie theater. Like if you're looking for a multiplex to go watch movies in IMAX, it's got the biggest IMAX screen in
100 feet, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah. Is it in the country the biggest screen or is it
It is the biggest IMAX multiplex screen in the United States. It's not the
there we
biggest in
go.
the world. I think it's in China. And you'll find some of the Omniplex, but I don't count Omniplex because those
It's
start like, those are the science tech theaters.
right.
The Lincoln Square is where you want to be if you're waiting for Dune, Nope 2, whatever the next big
Yeah.
IMAX, the next Nolan, you want to be there.
Absolutely. So I really like AMC Lincoln Square. That's usually where I go on like a Friday night if I'm seeing like a new
Three
big
floors,
movie.
damn.
Yeah. And the basement floor too, beyond that.
Which
So
we just discovered. Yeah.
but I love there's so many smaller theaters, and the only issue with them is that either sometimes they're showing indie movies that you might not be into. I'm into a lot of those, but I know not everybody is like looking for the random Swedish Oscar contender or something that's playing the IFC Center. Or you get places like Film Forum, which is one of my favorite theaters in the city, but that does mostly kind of like classic or repertory screenings. Film Forum is the place where I saw a Buster Keaton silent comedy with a live piano player, so it felt like I was transported
Sick.
back 100 years or whatever. Metrograph is another one that does really great screenings. I think some of my favorite theaters, like Metrographs, like the Film Forum, like IFC Center, even it's partially because of their programming and the types of movies they
It's
play,
unbeatable,
and
bro.
like getting to see classic films that maybe you never got the chance to see on the big screen. They're playing somewhere in New York all the time here, so
Yeah.
it's tough for me to pick. I mentioned the Angelica when we had Austin on earlier. That one's also great. Do you have a takeaway? Do you have a favorite theater from what you visited?
If you're going in there and you're looking at the blockbusters, Zach had it down right. When you are going to New York, you have a multitude of different multiplexes. It is just what do you want to watch? You
Yeah.
have all of the big movies, and if you're watching the big movies, you have to make it to that AMC, especially if you have an IMAX movie. You guys know I'm a big defender, pro. Just I love IMAX, and it's one of the best IMAX screens that we have. But what I love about New York is that you're just looking out to see where is there going to be a Q&A. The week that I was there, it's just like randomly just Q&As.
Yeah.
It was like, what? Regular screenings. It's not like they're even charging you more. It's just like, are you the first to see it on Thursday or on Friday or on Saturday? You will have the cast and crew and the director just there. And I'm like, that's fascinating to me.
Oh, cool. Natasha Lyonne just showing up on a Friday for a documentary. Cool.
Nice. Angelica would have been one of the first movie theaters, or one of the first time that I went to the Angelica was this past week. I've had that on my uh, to go list for the longest time, and I was able to see a Vicky Krieps movie there. Hold Me Tight, and I really like that theater. They have a really nice lobby right at the beginning, and then you enter down, and it's like you're entering like a cult. The way that it looks, and they have all this wall art, and it was a very nice theater. I come to realize that there's Angelica East and Angelica West, so there's a bunch of different ones there. But that was a really cool new theater to try. IFC Center I highly recommend because they put you in the basement almost as well. And there's just a bunch of other ones. BAM theaters I know is really big over there. They
Oh
were
yeah.
New York has the Alamos. I think they have a really nice one in
We didn't
Brooklyn. I
even
know it's
mention Nighthawk, which is the one of the first places we saw a movie together.
yeah, we saw I Tanya there, and they had like I Tanya themed food stuff because it's a really big place where they serve you stuff.
Pork
So it's like
knee, I think was one of the
yeah, it was
items.
like the knee was all shredded up and stuff, or bloody cocktails that they had because
Yeah.
of the movie. So again, it's a place where all the theaters stand out for different reasons, but it's also the programming that you would be really surprised. A lot of times you're going to a movie theater because it's got a really big screen, but I mean, New York's got the people there. They've
Yeah.
got like events for it, so you can't go wrong with any of those theaters that we mentioned. So hopefully those
Yeah.
put some on your radar.
Just steer clear of the AMC in Times Square. The escalators are always broken, and I've heard about bed bugs there.
They're
Heard about it.
sticky.
Yeah.
They're gross.